Anne was born in the year 1515 in Dusseldorf. At the age of 11, she was betrothed to the son of the Duke of Lorraine, but this was broken off as the two reached a marriageable age, partly because of religious disputes between Anne's parents. Europe was divided by religion by the late 1530s, and Henry VIII, King of England, was keen to make a Protestant alliance with his next marriage. Thomas Cromwell, Henry's chief minister, was keen on a match between Henry, now a bloated, overweight 48-year-old, and the 24-year-old, firmly for political reasons. While Anne had not benefited from a formal education and, in fact, could barely speak English, she was considered virtuous and excelled in skills like needlework and cards, the perfect competition for the increasingly Eric Henry. Hans Honnebellen, the younger one of the preeminent painter of the time, was delegated to paint both Anne and her younger sister, Emma something. Henry was said to be pleased with the realistic portrait, and copies of it can still be seen in Paris and London today. However, Henry later accused of Honnebellen of flattering Anne, declaring she was unattractive in real life. So much so that he could not bring himself to consummate the marriage. Certainly the Germanic fashions and war were very different to what was fashionable in the English court. By this point, the nickname, the Flounderous Mare, was coined in the 17th century. Anne and Henry had not met before the match, and there is no record of how Anne responded to the brothel. She traveled to London with a routine of her ladies to meet the king in late 1539, and in routine, Henry decided to surprise his bride to be in the true tradition of cavalristic love. Along with several of his men, Henry busted into Anne's apartment in a mask and tried to kiss her. Cavalristic traditions of love meant Anne was supposed to recognize her beloved despite his disguise, not expecting such informatively. The confused Anne pushed him away rudely and demanded to know who he was. Henry is said to have left in a rage, declaring, "I like her not." She had a very short-lived marriage. Anne and Henry were married in January 1540 in Greenwich. However, Henry declared to Cromwell the following day that he could not bring himself to consummate the marriage, implying he found Anne so unattractive he could not rouse any desire. History does not record how Anne felt about the perspective of consummating a marriage with Henry, who by this stage had a 52-inch waist and um and uncles on his legs that would not heal. She left court in June 1540. In June 1540, Henry was said to be fierce with Cromwell, and just 6 months after they were married, Henry ordered Anne to leave court. She was asked to consent to an annulment of the marriage, which she agreed to. Cromwell, on the other hand, was impressed on tempted up changes of Trenson and later executed. The marriage was formally annulled in July 1540. Anne's attitude was rewarded. Henry was grateful that Anne did not contest the annulment. She was awarded the title of the king's beloved sister and awarded priestess over all ladies in the land, except the king's family. Anne was also given a number of petitions, including Richmond, Plankston, and Hever Castle, and a generous annual income. Anne was well received at court and fortunately invited back, even dancing with Catherine Holwig following her marriage to Henry as a gesture of goodwill. Anne's father tried to get her to remarry Henry. Anne's states had become complex as the king's beloved sister and one of the wealthiest women in England. It would be difficult for Anne to remarry elsewhere, and the alliance between Cleves and England was somewhat rocky following the falter of the marriage. Following Catherine Holwig's execution, Anne's brother William persuaded Henry to remarry his sister. Henry showed little interest in revisiting the match, and with Anne happily penciled off, it seemed unlikely that she wanted this either. Anne survived to see Mary on the throne. Anne outlived Henry and his final wife, Catherine Parr. She had intently met Mary as her stepmother, although the two only had a few years between them, and despite religious differences, the two were said to have got along remarkably well. Anne took part in Mary's constration procession and wrote to congratulate her on her marriage to Philip of Spain. In defiance to Mary's Catholicism, Anne also converted in order to stay on the right side of the new queen. Despite this, she lost favor following Watson's rebellion in 1554, as Mary was led to believe that she had used her Protestant connections abroad to help Elizabeth garner support. She was not invited back to court during her lifetime. She died peacefully in 1557 and never left England following her arrival in 1539, and she lived her last years in Classical Old Manor until she died in July 1553. Her will remembered her family and her stepfamily, as well as her servants, whom she asked Mary and Elizabeth to employ in their households. She was buried in Westminster Abbey with full pomp by Mary, showing that despite their differences, Anne had a place in the Queen's affections. If you've come this far, thank you for watching the video, and also sorry for the reason that I said a lot of words wrong and stuff. Well, sorry about that, but I'm also gonna show a picture of all the people. So yeah, thanks for watching, and well, bye guys, see you next time.